Maybe you already know this if you were careful in the previous lesson, but maybe it wasn't so obvious for you. So in this lesson I want to show you the differences between Healing Brush tool and Clone Stamp tool, because it might be not so obvious. So it's better to show you on the example and being focused only on these two tools, and I won't be talking too much. I just want to show you the differences on the real example, so it's going to be very clear for you. That's the best, going straight to the point. So I'm going to create new layer, and the first time I'm going to use Healing Brush tool. So okay, what's about Healing Brush tool? How does it work? I'm going to press Alt and take a sample from this area, and actually what it is actually cloning. What's the sample? The sample, the clone we are taking from this area is the texture. It's not taking the color. The color is going to take from the area that exists around the area we're going to paint. So I already took a clone and painting here. And as you can see, it's really nicely adjusted to rest of the skin which exists around. So I took the texture from here, the color from here, and it blends this in together. Once again, I'm going to show you, even if I'm going to take a clone from this area, from this bright area, and going to paint over here, you could think it's going to be really bright. However, when I'm going to paint around, as you can see, it's not really. It only took a texture from this area and the color from this. I'm going to do this once again over here to show you it's really nicely adjusted. So what's the difference between this one and Clone Stamp? When I'm going to choose Clone Stamp, let's have a look. I'm going to take a clone from this area, and this time what is it doing? It's taking an actual clone. It's cloning not only the texture, but also the color. And it's not blending this in. It just put it all together. Let's have a look. I'm putting this now, and as you can see, I just copied this area. It's actual clone, not blends in, just texture and the color. So now you could ask a question that you could actually say it's probably better to use Healing Brush. Well, for retouching such a spot, it could be. It depends on the technique you're going to use, for sure. And also mostly in most of the cases, when you retouch these little spots, mostly you're going to use, for sure, Healing Brush. But when you're going to use the Clone Stamp, you could ask, well, let's go to the area which is a bit more suitable for showing you this example. And as you can see, this nail over here. So the thing is about the edges. I'm going to use Healing Brush, for example. I'm going to take a sample from this, and I want to fix this nail over here. As you can see, it's the edge, and we have two different colors. So what you can notice, it's not really doing the job nicely. It blends two different areas. It blends the texture from here with the color from this area, the color from around this area, and it absolutely doesn't look well. So in this case, I'm going to choose Clone Stamp. I'm taking a clone and I'm just painting this nicely with the color that exists over here. And what you can see, it's not blending anything. It's not blending the texture from here with the color as Healing Brush is doing, but it's doing just the job it has to do. It clones everything. So easily we could really fix the nails using Clone Stamp, and Clone Stamp will be way better for such a things. Also, the other thing which is over here, we should fix this a little bit. So let's have a look how Healing Brush would work if I'm going to do this. And as you can see, Healing Brush just blend in two areas, and it doesn't look so well because it makes it just blurry. If I will use Clone Stamp and I do the right clone, because it's very important to do the right clone, and paint this here, it actually looks so much better. So that's the main differences between these two tools. You know the differences between these two tools, and you know for which task it's better to use healing brush and for which task it's better to choose clone stamp.